Hi, my name is Dean Cullinane. I'm a theology student here at Weimar Institute, and I would like to share a little devotional with you about one of the lesser known Bible characters who goes by the name of Gehazi. In 2 Kings chapter 5, we're introduced to a man named Naaman. Verse 1 reads, "Now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master, and honorable, because by him the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in valor, but he was a leper." Now you probably know the story of Naaman, this Syrian warrior, captain, soldier, who eventually finds himself before the prophet of Israel, Elisha, who gives him an opportunity to be healed of his leprosy by dipping himself in the river 7 times. Now Naaman, he refuses this opportunity, but through the interaction with some of his good friends, he eventually follows the orders of the prophet and he's healed of this leprosy. You'll find that after the healing takes place, he returns to Elisha and he decides that he wants to repay Elisha for the good that he has done for his life. Now Elisha rejects any payment or any gifts or any offerings that Naaman has to give on behalf of his healing, and basically sends him away back to the land of Syria, where he no doubt has a powerful testimony. Now, if this story ended there, then what a story it would be. But instead we'll find in 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 20, one of the most horrible scriptures that are found in the scriptures, and it reads this: "But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, Behold, my master hath spared Naaman this Syrian, in not receiving at his hands that which he brought. But as the Lord liveth, I will run after him and take somewhat of him." I want you to imagine for a second the testimony that Naaman has. He's a leper. This disease is visible. And he heads back to Syria, having just come from Israel, and he is visibly and thoroughly not just healed, but also converted. His testimony is that he was a leper, but he came into contact with the God of Israel, and now he is a healed man. But in steps Gehazi. Gehazi chases from Elisha's house, runs out of the house, down the road, after the chariot, after Naaman's chariot, stops him, and concocts this elaborate story of how the sons of the prophets are coming down from the mountain, and therefore they need some silver and a change of garments, to which Naaman happily agrees to provide. Gehazi takes these gifts and heads back to Elisha's house, where he hides them. Elisha finds him, asks him, "Hey, where were you?" And again he lies and says, "I've been here all the time." But the Lord has spoken to Elisha, and he knows exactly what Gehazi has been up to. And so he curses Gehazi with the leprosy of Naaman, and says, not only will you have leprosy, but all your successive generations will have leprosy. It seems like such a great curse for such a minor crime. But I want you to think about this. Naaman, the healed leper, heads back to Syria, a foreign land, a pagan land, with the testimony that the God of Israel healed him for nothing. When the other soldiers see Naaman, Naaman's a celebrity in Syria. When they see Naaman, they're like, "Wow, you've been healed. How?" "Oh, I was healed when I went to Israel." "For what? What did you have to give for this healing?" Nothing. They done it for free. But no, Gehazi changes that testimony. Now Naaman goes back to Syria, and Naaman says, "I was healed of my leprosy, and I only had to pay a small price to receive it." Brethren, that's not the God of Israel. The God of Israel does not heal based on your offering, based on your sacrifice, or based on the things that you give up in your life. He heals because he's a God of love. Naaman goes back to Syria, not with the God of Israel, but with the God of Islam, a God that will heal for a small price. I want you to think about the news most recently of all of these Syrian refugees that have been scattering from their countries. I want you to think of that young boy whose face became so famous when it washed up on the shore of a beach. Syrians fleeing because of the civil war taking place in your country. And I want you to imagine what would have happened if Naaman was actually able to go back to Syria to present the true picture of the God of Israel. Gehazi changes that picture. The lesson is this: don't think that you're so small and that you're so insignificant that you cannot wholly disrupt the plans of God in your life. He's given you that choice. He's given you that choice. And as much good as we can do bad also. Gehazi perhaps changes the course of an entire nation because of his own greed.